this next session, Bloomberg's West Africa Bureau Chief, Yinka Ibukun, spoke to Her Excellency Vera Daves de Sousa, Minister of Finance for the Republic of Angola, and began by asking her when she expects Angola to return to growth and what she thinks the main drivers of that recovery will be.
We are struggling with a drop on our GDP for too long for our people, too long for our country. We need also to manage all the consequences of the pandemic that make it extra challenging. But we are expecting in 2021 at least stop dropping. We will see a stagnation of our GDP. We have some international houses, even IMF, saying that we will grow as overall, but our expectation is to face a stagnation, but with the non-oil sector growing 2.1%. What is quite good in those circumstances. But we are anticipating that the oil sector will keep the trajectory of decreasing 6.2%. We are anticipating mainly because of the production performance. So the conjugation of these two performance will conduct us to a stagnation. But we understand that is an inflection point, and we will experiment our economy growing after that. We are counting on agriculture, fisheries, industry, also diamond mining as an overall, not only diamond sector, but mining as main drivers of the growth of the non-oil sector.
Thank you, Minister. Let's talk about debt. You said in September that Angola had plans to go to the international debt markets, but then the conditions were not ideal to do so. When do you see Angola selling Euro bonds again?
It's a tough question. We understand that we will be managed to go as soon as the market starts trusting again on our ability to serve our debt, our ability to increase our stock without main concerns. So this will come as soon as our economy show signs that we are not managing with a huge stress on liquidity, and we are also being able to manage the debt that we already have. 2021 will be an important year to test all this, because we believe that we will start seeing the results of our fiscal reform. We changed a lot during 2020 on our fiscal side. We start seeing the results of that on the VAT, on the real estate tax, on the income tax. So we will see the results of that, but also the results of the negotiation that we are having with our creditors. So it will start showing the results, and after that the market will show confidence. And when we understand that is the confidence in us is restored, we will go back.
And Minister, you've spoken of negotiations with creditors. Has there been an agreement on deferring debt payments to China specifically?
Yes, we are negotiating with our main creditors. Regarding China, we got the benefits of the DSSI regarding one of the creditors. So in the same conditions that the other banks that are being part of the initiative of the DSSI, but we also negotiate with other two that with who we have commercial lines. As you know, the commercial part of the process was not under the initiative. So we also talk with those, and with those we arrange a framework that we understand that help us or give to us some breathing space and also fiscal space that we need to address issues related to health, but also related to capital expenditures that we need to boost the growth.
And for, again, China specifically, how much money are we talking about, and how much breathing space are you hoping to get? For how long do you expect to be deferred?
We hope to have breathing space for the next 3 years. Start counting since 2020, almost $6 billion of as the result of these negotiations. So it's a good figure. We understand that our challenges are bigger than that. That's why we need to keep working on our fiscal side, and also on the investments that are needed to make sure that our GDP growth. It's good to negotiate with creditors. It's good to have fiscal space, but we need to make sure that we can grow, and with that we can improve our ability to do even more for our population.
Okay. Fighting corruption has been a big pillar of this administration in a bid to plug leakages. Yet there seems to have been some resistance to audit the books of Sonangol, which has been directly or indirectly linked to corruption allegations. Could you speak to that, please?
No, not really, because Sonangol has an audit company that recently, 2009 books was recently published, and also the audit report was published with the books. So I think it's not an issue. Yes, we had some problems because of that. That report have some recommendations that Sonangol need to keep working on that, to remove those notes. But Sonangol has an audit company that look through the book and publish the report that results from the analysis from the financial reports of 2019 exercise.
Okay. There's also plans to privatize a lot of state-owned companies in Angola. Specifically, we're interested in Sonangol and Endiama. Could you speak a bit about your plans to sell stakes in those companies, and how much stakes you would be looking to sell?
Yes, our privatization program is quite ambitious. We have more than 195 assets and companies to sell. We already did it with 40. Most of them from the industry, small industries, some factories, and also farms. But we also have running process related to a insurance company, and also a commercial bank, public commercial bank. So we are doing a lot. We related to Sonangol, Endiama, and other big big companies, we understand that we need, first of all, to make sure that they are ready to be interesting. We need to, we want to do a good sell. That's why the boards of those companies are working hard on a process of, we call it regeneration, we can call it restructuring the company, to make sure that they are ready to go, for example, through the market in a process more open than possible, an IPO, why not? So that's a lot to do before that. We are targeting end of 2021, beginning of 2022 to start the process of privatization of the big ones, such as Sonangol and Ndiama, but all this will depend on how fast we can reorganize those companies to make sure that with a due diligence process, we can capture the interest of high quality investors. That's what we want for those companies.
Okay. There's also recently been protests in Angola, young people taking to the streets to express their anger at rising unemployment and an increase in the cost of living. What's your message to young Angolans?
A message of patience and hope. We are totally aware that it's not an easy moment, because we were dealing with a very fragile economy when we were hit by the coronavirus and the decrease on the drop on the oil price. On top of that, we are working on economic and financial reforms, making our exchange rate flexible in a free float regime, in an economy that we import a lot of what we are eating. So all this combined is quite hard to manage for our population, but we really understand that we have the right vision, that we want to start growing in a more sustainable way, where the private sector, where the self-sustainability of production are key pillars of our growth. So we are in a moment where the effects of our reformist agenda are not, the people are not feeling, but we need to keep moving, because it's the only way to assure that we will not live a scenario like this again, so vulnerable to external shocks. We need to avoid this to happen again. So yes, we still committed. We ask patience to our population. We ask patience to our young people, and also help for make with us this new Angola, exploring the new ideas, exploring the dynamic and the strength that our people have, surviving from so many problems and so many challenges. And we believe that together, with openness, with dialogue, we will win this battle.